Hi everyone, welcome to Becky's Crafts and Goodies. Today we're going to decorate this box. Now this box came from the works. It was £4. If you look on their website, they do have extra offers on the website that they don't have in store. Also, if you sign up to their email updates, you get regular emails sent with 20% off and various things like that, so you can go onto the website and then get the discount off. Also with these boxes, they do like a multi-buy discount, so the more you buy, the cheaper that you get them as well. So it is worth checking the works. I think it's the works.co.uk out. So what we're going to do to start with is we're going to give the box a light sand. It is quite smooth on the top here, but when you sort of run your hands over it, it does feel a bit bumpy. So all I'm going to do is to start, I'm just going to give it a light sanding just to get the bumpy parts off, just to make it a bit smoother. The paint that I'm going to use is this Deco Art. It's the Americana Decor Metallics, and this one is a vintage brass, so it's got a really nice goldy colour to it. So you can actually just put this on without any base coat at all, but I'm going to put a base coat on this time just to see if that gives me a better finish. I'll probably need a couple of coats of the metallic, I'm not too sure. Before I start with the base coat, I'm just going to take all the hardware off. So I just have a small screwdriver that I use for projects like this, and I'm just going to remove all of the hardware. This just makes it easier for painting, but be careful that you don't lose the screws because they are really tiny, so put them somewhere safe. I just pour my paints and things like that in these little tubs. I save them, you know, from fruit and things like that. And all I'm going to do is just paint over with a layer of the undercoat, and this will just help, hopefully, so the colour of the paint sits a little bit nicer. So I'm just going to go over all of the box, wait for it to dry, then do the other side. Once that's dry, we'll be able to apply the metallic paint, so we'll do that in a second. So once the layer of undercoat's dried, just give it another light sanding, and that just gets rid of any little lumpy and bumpy bits. And then once you've done that, we'll be putting on the metallic paint. This is the metallic paint here, so it's a lovely gold colour, and I'm just going to apply that now. So I'll start with applying one coat, and once that's dried, I'll apply another one. I'm just going to go over the whole box, let it dry, I'll sand it, and then I'll paint another coat over the top of that. Okay, it's the next day now, and they're both completely dry. I really don't know why I painted the top of this. I did give it one coat, but I think I was just kind of like going over it as, you know, an automatic pilot really, because I am going to cover the top of that. But once I'd realised what I was doing, I stopped after one coat. The rest of it has had two coats, but I hope the camera's picking up how absolutely gorgeous this is. It's got like a bit of a shine to it as well. So I don't normally use the gloss Mod Podge, but I'm going to use the gloss one in this case because of the shine on this part of the box. So that bit there is finished for now, and we're just going to concentrate on the lid because this is the lid. So that's the back part, because you've got the two screws there which go on the lid and it opens up like that, and then there's the front. So we'll need to know which is our sort of front and back part. And I'm going to use this paper that we got from Paperchase. Do you remember we did the vlog? And I think I'm going to use this one. And I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. I really love it. And I think I'm going to struggle to give this box away. I am making it with someone in mind. And there's the other one I picked up as well. But how gorgeous are they? And I just didn't know which one to pick because I love both of them. That's why I bought both bits of paper in the shop. And how much were they? I think they were £2.75 a sheet. Yes, that was £2.75 for that one. So I'm just going to try and peel that off if it will let me take it off. So what you can do is you can, you know how you do sort of your decoupage and you get your little pieces and you glue them on. You can do that if you want, but what I'm going to do in this instance is I'm going to try and get it on in one sheet over the top. Okay, so I'm going to measure, let me just move that out of the way a sec. I'm going to measure the lid And I want it going over in one whole piece, because you can put it in one piece. It doesn't have to be, you know, in separate bits. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cheat a little bit. Rather than measuring it with a ruler, I'm going to bend it over and just get the outline on the paper, and then I'm going to cut it, but I'm going to cut it slightly bigger, I think, than what I need it. Okay, so I've done that. I'm just going to run around that. I don't know if you can see. If I lift that up, you can see the mark. I'm going to go around that now with my paper trimmer. Right, so let's just pour some Mod Podge now. I'm just going to do my old favourite, pouring it into a lid. I need to get some more of the matte, because I'm running out a little bit of that, so I need to get some of the matte stuff. So the matte is in the yellow pot, and that's the one that dries with the matte finish, and the one in the red with the red label, that's the one that dries with the gloss, so it will dry shiny. Right, so what we're going to do is get our brush, and we're going to put over the lid with a layer of the Mod Podge. Now, you can use all sorts of different glues. I know people do use PVA. I've said it before, I just like the Mod Podge, but please use whatever you feel comfortable with. This is a glue, but it's also a sealer as well, and it's a finish, kind of, it gives it a finished look. So we're just going to pop this on. Again, I don't know why I painted the top of this lid. I think I was just in the zone, and you just do it. So you don't have to, it doesn't have to go onto a painted surface. Right, so we're just going to go over it here, and then I'm going to place this piece of paper. Make sure you get lots on the corners. I'm just going to put the piece of paper over the top, and I have left a slight gap all the way around the edge, because we can sort that out afterwards. There's nothing worse than it looking really, really lovely, and then, like, say in a tiny bit of the corner you've got a bit missing, because that would be really annoying. So work out which way round you want it, and all we're going to do is go straight on the top with the paper, and it would be quite hard to get it sort of spot on if you'd measured it exactly. So we've got a bit of a lip there around the edge. So we're just going to press it down. And I'm just going to tilt it up so you can see what an absolutely gorgeous design this paper is. And it's going to look completely fab. Let me bring this in so you can see the look that I'm going for. Look at how nice that's going to look. It's fab, isn't it? I've got a few ideas for top, but often when I start my projects, I have no idea how they're going to end up. I don't know if anyone else is like that. I'm going to go around the edges because it is quite thick paper, so it should be fine. And I'm going to use a nail file and just stroke it down just to get the edges off. If you've got a bit of sandpaper, you could do that, and it won't matter if it's a little bit sort of jaggedy on the edges, because I think that will look actually quite cute. If you're brave enough, you can cut it exactly to size. But let me just show you there. You can see that you can go around, and sort of it gives you that nice neat edge. So I'm just going to go around now and do all the rest, but just be careful because it might bring the paint off, so just be dead careful when you're doing it. Okay, so I've finished doing that, and as you can see, it's left a nice neat edge all the way round. Now normally I would, when I put the Mod Podge on and then put my paper on, I would leave that to dry before I use the nail file to take this off, but this paper's quite thick and quite robust, so I thought I'd be okay. But if it's thinner paper, or if you're a little bit worried, let it dry a bit first and then take it off. Just make sure that you haven't got bits sort of stuck down the sides, because they'll be hard to get off once they've started to dry. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over the top of the paper with some of the Mod Podge, some of the glossy Mod Podge. Make sure that you get right to the ends, so you got no curly up bits, and this will dry clear. So you don't have to worry that it looks a bit white in places. You don't have to worry about that at all. So we're just going to go over the top, and this will seal the lid. While that's drying, I'm going to go over the top of this box with some of this Wilko lacquer spray, and it smells a bit, so keep the room well ventilated and keep the kids out of the way. You just have to shake the can and just spray over it with the lacquer spray. Leave that to dry, and when the top part is dried with the Mod Podge, just spray around the edge of the lid as well. Right, so now that's all dry, I'm going to put the hardware back on. So you just have to screw back on the hinges and the clasp at the front. And it's not, I mean, you don't have to take these off. I don't always take them off. Sometimes I just paint around them very carefully. So we're just going to put those back on now, and we're round about done. Right, so I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that you can decorate the top. Now, I've had a bit of a play around with some of the things that I've got. Something like this would be quite nice, this sort of trim. You've got like a bead and a lace kind of pleat there. That would look quite sweet. I don't know if you can see that there. I thought that would look nice. Also, I'll tell you what I did think would look good. If you have any old like brass kind of watches or anything that's sort of this kind of colour, something big, you could put like a watch on, some beads, some necklace, you could kind of drape those down. All I've got at the moment are these sort of keys, and they're too small, they just wouldn't be big enough for what I wanted to achieve. So I'm going to do something different. I didn't think I would do this, but the person that it's going to, this would suit really, really well. And I think when it's dark, this would look really, really pretty, sort of all lit up. So I'm going to use these lights. Now, these lights here, just reach for the box, came from Home Bargains. They're decorative heart lights, and they're in the Christmas range as well. But I just think that they would look really, really, really pretty. So what I'm going to do is I've got the lights here, and I'm just going to pop some batteries in them. And then we'll see what they look like. They have some lovely lights in a lot of these shops this time of year. It's a shame they don't do them for sort of the rest of the year, but they tend to stop selling quite a few bits. So pick them up kind of when they're in the shop. Oh, it helps if I put it on the right way. So this is the battery pack which we'll need to hide. And I'm just going to pull this in. Okay, but what I'm going to do is to cover it in some of these lights. Okay, now I did think about maybe getting some kind of tacking them down, gluing them down, but I think glue, hot glue, would come off. So what I'm going to do is to use this stapler, and these staples, let me just show you, have got a curve in. So they're curved like that, so they shouldn't sit flat, and technically I'm hoping that they won't go through the wire, so they should be okay, she says. So I'm going to sort of go up and down with the lights like that, and I will try and stick the battery pack on the back, but I'm going to give it a go and see if it works. The lights are now stuck on, and they're just tacked down the side with those little staples. And what I've done at the back, is I've just tacked that along there, because this is the bit that you won't see, and I'm going to stick the battery pack to the back there, but I'm not going to use the glue gun because I don't think that will hold it. So I'm going to use this Gorilla Glue, and so I'm going to stick some Gorilla Glue on there, just a little bit because it does expand, and then I'm going to put some masking tape just to hold that on till it sets. But make sure when you're sticking it on, you stick it so you leave the opener the right way, so people can sort of put batteries in and out again if they need to. So I'm just going to stick that down and then I'll show you when it's finished. Right, it's the next day now, and I'm just going to peel off the masking tape, and it should have stuck. And it has. This Gorilla Glue is fantastic. And look, you can just switch it on there and you can open it and sort of change the batteries and whatever. So there we go. That will go at the back so no one will see it. And there's the front of the box. And if I just switch the lights on, you'll see that it looks really, really pretty. So I've never put lights on top of a box before. Different idea, but I just wanted to show you that you don't have to put them sort of around the edge, that you can sort of make a feature of them on the top. Just show you inside now. So what you just have to be careful of is if you do staple the lights on, just make sure that the staples are not too big and come through. If they do, then you can just snip them off on the inside. I had to snip a couple off, and or you can sort of bend them down, and I just painted over if there were any marks. And then inside I'm just going to put some of this tissue paper. I just chose this colour because it matches the top quite nicely. And this is going to be a Christmas Eve box. So I'm just going to put bits and pieces in it that, you know, suitable for who's having it, sort of the different teas and snacks that they would like. And that's it. So it's quite a nice adult box. It's something that adults would really enjoy if they, you know, would like something like this. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Give it a go. If you like it, give the video the thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, then please do. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.